Hey guys, welcome back to November Reads and December TBR. Okay, let's get to it because we've got a lot of books to discuss this month. First, full disclosure, I did not get to these three, and I'm okay with that, but these are gonna have to be pushed to January, so you still have some time if you have an opinion on which of these I should read first. First thing I read in November, Mockingbird Court, which is the 6th Shady Hollow book. I'm super sad that this is the last book, and it really ended on a high note. Plus this cover I just think is gorgeous. So I really love these books. I've talked about them enough that I'm not going to like rehash, all my thoughts, but these are so good. I forget these characters are animals. I want to live in Shady Hollow. I just really love this series. Nice and cozy. Next, in my physical reads, I have The Academy. And a lot of people did not like this book, and I liked it. I don't know, it gave me like Gossip Girl vibes. I think when you see the name Ellen, I don't know, Hildebrand, you think like beach read, and this is really not a beach read. It's definitely more kind of like YA actually, maybe adult, but it's definitely more fiction, not necessarily a beach read. But I really liked this. I'm excited for the second book. I don't know, maybe I have low standards. I don't think so, but I really liked this, and I'm excited to read the next one. Then we have The Strength of the Few. Oh my gosh. I waited and waited for this book, not as long as other people because I just read The Will of the Many a couple months ago, but this was an excellent follow-up to The Will of the Many. One thing I will say is it does irritate me that the cover has changed, and they did do like one of those covers that you can reverse it, so it has like the style of The Will of the Many on the inside of the cover. But I don't know, I don't know, we'll see. I don't feel like that irritated by it to like change it on my shelf. Maybe I do, I don't know, we'll see when I get it up there, but that did bug me. Also, it took me so long to figure out, hold on, let me show you. This little symbol right here tells you which world it is, and that's kind of a spoiler if you haven't read book one. So I will put a note on the screen, my apologies. But anyway, absolutely incredible. This is a 5-star read for me for the year. The Will of the Many was 6 stars. I did like The Will of the Many better, but the end of this, I'm sorry, can someone please explain how we're supposed to wait years until the 3rd book? I have no words. Absolutely incredible. This is probably becoming one of my favorite series. And then my last physical book that I am currently reading, about this far through, is The River is Waiting by Wally Lamb. I'm kind of torn on how I feel about this book so far. Like I said, I'm 259 pages in out of 461. So, I'm torn on how I feel, and I think some of it is that, one, you can see like the traumatic event coming from like 50 miles away. The second, there's a lot of political commentary in this book, and I don't want to read about that. Like, I read because I don't want to be in the real world. I don't want to read about the real world per se in books. So that is bothering me a little bit, but overall I am enjoying the story. So I think I should finish this today or tomorrow, so I might give, an update on what I think in my December reviews. But yeah, so far this is about a 3-star, maybe 3.5, 4 on the very high end. but I will keep you posted. For my Kindle books, The Things We Cannot Say, Kelly Rimmer. I actually listened to this one. It was very sad, but it was good. I'm actually surprised that I didn't see the twist coming because I should have. But I liked this. It was sad. I guess there's like a second kind of spin-off book that I don't know that I'll read. Like I said, I listened to this. I really enjoyed the narrators, which is very hard for me because I have a thing with voices. So I liked that there were two, but Alina drove me absolutely insane. So I just have to say that. But overall, this was a good book and I gave it 4 stars. Then I read Heart the Lover by Lily King. This book had me bawling like uncontrollably at the end. So sad. So thank God I was at home and not in public because yeah, I bawled like a baby. This was just like incredible. I don't know, I've never read any Lily King before, but I loved this book. I thought it was a little weird that her name, the main character's name, the narrator, whatever, was not revealed until like the last page of the book, which I don't know what the point of that was. Maybe I'm too dense to see it. I don't know, but that didn't make any sense to me. But I did give this book 4 stars. Then I read Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey? I don't know. Yeah, nope, I didn't really like this. This was 3 stars for me. Way too much miscommunication dressed up to be something that it wasn't. Yeah, I think this is like a minority opinion, but it wasn't good. I didn't like it. I didn't really care about any of the characters, maybe the kids, but the 2 adults, yeah, I thought were both shady. And the twist, I did not see the twist coming, to be fair, but it wasn't enough for me to say I loved this book. I think it was just disappointing because I had such high expectations. Next, I read All the Sinners Bleed, S.A. Cosby. 4 stars, but this was not my favorite S.A. Cosby book because it was pretty graphic. More graphic than the other S.A. Cosbys I've read. But I think the moral of the story is all sins must be reckoned with, regardless. So I did like it. I really liked the main character too. I thought he was very well written. And this wasn't a bad book. It just wasn't my favorite. I felt like the ending was a little rushed. I definitely preferred, I've read Blacktop Wasteland and King of Ashes. I definitely preferred those 2 over this one. And I think just the subject matter in this one was a little not up my alley. Speaking of another book that was not up my alley, Boomtown, Nick Stone, did not finish. Nope, couldn't get into it, didn't like it. Another did not finish, which I was actually excited about this one and pretty disappointed. Fallen City, Adrian Young. Couldn't get into it. I think I read 50 pages and I was like, no, don't know where this is going. I don't care. So I'm not going to force myself to finish a book like that. I'm just not. Oh, probably not the best book, but my favorite book of the month. And it was If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. This book like spoke to my soul. So it takes place in, I think, 1997. Yeah, 1997. And it takes place from September to December. And this book just made me so nostalgic for the 90s. Walkmans. They were talking about Spice Girls, Britney Spears, home phones, like landline phones, bed and breakfasts, small towns, trick-or-treating. I was just, it made my heart so happy. The story made my heart happy. The whole thing made my heart happy. I just really freaking loved this book. It was so good, so sweet, perfect small town romance, and it was not like super spicy. There's a little bit of spice, but it was not over the top. It was slow burn, friends to lovers, single father. I am just obsessed with this book. I seriously don't think I've stopped thinking about it since I finished it. And then the last book was the 4 engagement rings of Sybil Rain, and this is the Mistakes We Never Made series by Hannah Brown. People do not like these, and I can see why, but I really enjoyed this book. I liked this book a lot more than I liked the first one, which was Mistakes We Never Made. This book gave a lot of context to things that happened in the first book, things that happened prior to the first book, and the main character, Sybil, does so much growing up and just maturing that, I don't know, I just really, really liked this. I ended up giving it 5 stars. It's second chance, fake dating. I would say there's a little bit of miscommunication in there if you're into like the trope thing. But yeah, this was just really good. And I smiled while I was reading this book. I can't even think of anything that I can't think of one thing I didn't like. The male main character, some of the things that he said about Sybil, I don't think that I could have gotten past. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, really good reading month. I'm actually very happy with all of the books that I read this month, and I'm really looking forward to my Christmas reads. So let's go through those. And I have, I think, 5 physical books here, and then I have a couple, I don't know how many Kindle books, maybe 2 or 3. The first one, Good Spirits, B.K. Borison. Super excited to read this book because it seems very cozy. It had a little bit of, like, I thought with maybe the ghost element, I would read it in October, but I ended up pushing it to December. So very excited about this one. Also, BK, Love Light Farms, the first one. I know this is a series, so we'll see if I like this and continue with the other books in the series. Then we have You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince. I know this is a series as well, which I did not know when I got this book at Dollar Tree for $1.25, by the way. I also have The Merriest Misters by Timothy Janofsky. Goodness, I just don't know how to say that. But I have that on my list as well. That is one I'm going to read on Kindle. Then I have A Merry Little Meet Cute, which I'm very excited about. I've heard good things about this book on TikTok. Then we have The Christmas Catch by Tony Shiloh, which is a holiday novella. Now I'm wondering if it's part of a series that maybe I'm missing out on. I don't know, probably, who knows. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. We're reading this for book club, so I'm very excited about that. A Novel Christmas by Charity Shane. And then I also have the first book in Christmas in Eldovia series, and that is A Prince for Christmas. So I accidentally read the third book. So this is Christmas last year, again, not realizing that it was a series. So I'm going to read the first one this year. And then lastly, for Kindle books, this is probably the one I am maybe most excited for. And it is Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. So last year I read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, and that's by Megan Quinn, who I'm really coming to like. And this is the second book, and it is about the best friend, Max. And the first one is so fun. Megan Quinn's books are just so funny. I have literally like laughed out loud to the point of tears while I've been reading her books. So I'm very excited about that one and can't wait to get to reading. Christmas books are just some of my favorite. Oh, and I have another one on my Kindle list if I can get to it. Bright Lights, Big Christmas, Mary Kay Andrews, because I've seen this one recommended all over TikTok. So that is my list for December. Let me know if you have any favorite Christmas books that I should read, because like I said, I just love Christmas books. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next month.